Hello, Professor. I am Jalpa Lakhani, and today I'm going to present you news article sentiment analysis. This is assignment 3, and this is presented by my whole team. So first we go through the table of content. First we go through the team members and then what kind of implementation tools that we use for the sentimental analysis. And by web scraping, we get the data for our project. And here we use the MongoDB for data storage. And then we applied some of the library and function for data cleaning and visualization. Here we use the Power BI for visualization, and then we reach to the sentimental analysis and finally the conclusion. First, meet our team members. The Nicolas Gonzalez, he is the data analyst. Claudio Mendonca is the programmer. And I'm Jalpa Lakhani, I'm the business analyst. Me, Ambika is also business analyst. And Yuxin is data analyst. This is the data source. You can see in the first figure, it shows the positive and negative bias of the news article. And this second figure is live. I will show you in the browser. You can see that this is the green rectangle shows the most reliable news article. You can see that CNN and BBC. And the yellow shows the reliable but high in analysis. And the orange rectangle shows the some reliability issue, but the red one shows the high reliability issue of the news article. So the next slide is implementation tools. Here we use the Visual Studio for sentimental analysis and the MongoDB for data store and fetching. And for the data visualization, we use the Power BI. And this slide shows the data scraping that we use with the help of Jupyter Notebook. And the result of weather analysis of you can see that negative and positive results of the weather analysis, and this brief introduction given by the Claudio. So this is the next slide, and thank you, Professor.
Hello, my name is Claudio Mendonca, and for this project, my role is as a programmer. For the sentiment analysis, we decided to go with Vader, and to do that, I imported some libraries, especially the Vader sentiment, but also the pandas to work with the data frame, natural language toolkit, the feed parser to get the RSS information, the importing for the data cleaning, the regular expression, as well as the stop words that I'm going to be showing better later. So the media that we decided, as said, was Fox, Daily Mail. They have a more right approach, as well as CNN and CBS News, where they have they are more into left parties. For the feed parse, we decided on getting the health news, and for this I'm running the URL Daily Mail. And from the HTML here, we are there are many hyperlinks inside here, so I had to remove it. Here I'm creating the data frame where I start with an empty list as in the row that it goes grabbing from the RSS. It's going to be including this information, creating the table, the data frame. So this is like a summary. So I ran this just to get a chance to read the full sentence and so I can kind of try to verify what is the score with the full sentence. For the data cleaning, I use the remove stop words, which is a library that has all these words that are going to be removed from the sentence. So for example, we can see here a news 30 from Yale, and now it's news 30 Yale. So he automatically removed this information. Also, one of the things considered was punctuation, so it was removed also. And our data frame has 150 lines. This is just to show an example for the Vader sentiment. So if I have this Sunday will be a good day, it's going to be positive. But if I go and change it to terrible, it changed to negative. So for each row of the RSS, we are running this code. So it's gonna include in the data frame all the information according, but it doesn't show what it was the sentence. So for this, we run a concatenation with the description, including the feed description and the grades. Since the title is negative, neutral, and positive, I change it to negative, neutral, and positive. So it looks a little bit better. And here I am including what is the result. So it's not necessary to look by that in the numbers. We can all get to the result directly. And this is just optional, is to export data frame to CSV. Oh, because I already have it with this name. So I can run it. Thank you.
Thank you for my teammate. I'm Yuxin Liu. Here I will show you our team how to import the data source and analyze data and then store the data into MongoDB. Firstly, we import the libraries we need. For example, the data storage libraries by Mongo. And then we create the table to store the feeds. And next, go to the data cleaning part. For example, we remove the punctuation, change to lowercase, and so on. And then we did the vendor sentiment analysis, as Claudio mentioned before. And for the data storage, I create a data frame here, which is the assignment 3 and sentiment analysis, and then upload this full link to the database. So let's go to the MongoDB. So as we can see here, there is a data entry in detail. For example, we include the feed description and the negative, neutral, positive, and compound score, and even the sentiment, and as well as the source of the articles. Now I will delete this one. Okay, it's empty here. And let's run the code again. Okay, let's go to the MongoDB and refresh it. Okay, here we go. As we can see, as shown the assignment 3 and sentiment analysis, and all the columns here. So that's about how we store the dataset in the remote database. Thank you for listening, and let's go to the visualization part.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicholas Gonzalez. I'm one of the data analyst members of this team, and I'm going to be showing you the visualization aspect of this presentation. So basically we're going to be comparing how neutral, how positive, and how negative each of the news articles are, and then compare them against each other in the news positivity versus negativity. So this is just going to be a quick preview of what I'm going to be showing and a quick look at the dashboard. So here we have news neutrality, so how neutral they are compared to each other. On the right we have news positivity, how positive they are, or how much positive they have in the article. Positivity versus negativity, so we're comparing how negative and how positive the articles are compared to each other, and then compared to the overall, to the other articles overall. and on the right we have the negativity. So I'm going to be showing you how we got the data to work with. So in the Jupyter Notebook, we have here what Claudio showed earlier. We have our sentimental analysis with Vader. Here we did a free parser for each of the 4 URLs, and what we got at the end is a CSV file which contained the data that we're going to be using. So here we have our sentimental analysis 3. This was for CBS News, and then we used this data. So we did that 4 times, and then we sent it over here to our Power BI. So here you can see CNN, CBS, Daily Mail, and Fox News, and that's the data that we used. Keep in mind though that some, for example, have more data than other. For example, Fox News and CBS News. There's some difference in how much data there was in the URLs. So that's just something to keep in mind when comparing. So here we have our dashboard. Here we're comparing that how neutral each one is. We did counts. We didn't do sum or average. We didn't want to see the sum of all the points. We just want to see the counts of it to have a better understanding. So we can see the Daily Mail has quite a bit of neutrality. We don't like neutrality, as we already talked about in class, but it's just we just kept it anyways. We can see Fox News isn't very neutral. CNN is not so neutral either, and CBS is just a little bit more neutral. When we see the positivity, we see again the Daily Mail has a lot of positive in it. Again, it's larger size though, and we can see that again Fox News is a bit smaller when it comes to positivity. Keep in mind this won't be as accurate, but when we come down here and we compare it to each other, we'll see how it really lines up. So this is positivity here, CBS. You know, it's second place again, just how it was here, but it's a larger data set. And same here, third place, if that's how you want to think about it. But again, there's different sizes of data. So when we come down here, we really start to understand so how they are lined up to each other. So for example, CBS News, we can see is pretty much, you know, it's the same when it comes to being negative or positive. When we look at CNN, we can see that it's slightly more negative than it is positive. Here we can see that Daily Mail is slightly more positive than it is negative. And Fox News, we can see that it's a little bit more negative than positive. So overall, we have 2 that are more negative than positive in the same URL. We have 1 that's the same and 1 more positive. If you think about it, when we're talking about the vaccines, it would be ideal, or you might assume that it's going to be more negative focused. But we can see that's not really the case. Yes, it is 2 are more negative than they are positive, but not by a whole lot. And we have 1 that's the same and 1 that's positive. So that's something to keep in mind. This gives us a better understanding of overall how they line up to each other. Here in news negativity comparison, we can see, again, Daily Mail is quite big, so it takes up a lot of the negativity. And then we see CBS, again, second place. We can see here CNN, third, and last is Fox News. So these are just comparing them quickly, these 3 other ones, with the data that we had. But this one is the one that gives us a really good understanding of how they compare to each other. So we can overall say that the news articles related to vaccines or COVID are slightly more negative than they are positive. However, it's not a huge difference, and that might be because by now we have the vaccines and the articles are very recent, so it's starting to become a little bit more positive. If we did some from early on or last year or earlier this year, we might see a lot of negative. But yeah, just gonna pass it on over to Ambika, and thank you for watching.
Hi Rick, this is Ambika and I am the data analyst for this assignment. So I'll just give you a quick overview of the whole assignment. So first of all, we used the news articles from CBS, CNN, Daily Mail and Fox News, and we chose vaccine as our search. So for this we scrape the web articles using Jupyter Notebook, and we stored our data in MongoDB, which we used as our database. And then after storing our data in MongoDB, we used Power BI to present you with the visualizations and also find out the insights and the analysis of the sentiments of the article. And as Nicholas made you go through all the conclusions, from the visualizations. So basically, all the articles have more negative news than the positive news, but the difference is not much. And as we can see that as more and more people are getting vaccinated, the sentiments of the articles are going more towards positivity than negativity. And if we can see earlier articles, there were more negative news of the vaccines. So Rick, this was all for our assignment. Thank you so much.